Jack
Right.
in the outfit.
Yeah, you want to be outfit. Yeah, okay. It's getting better. although technically you're correct in what you're saying, but actually what that means is that you think I'm wearing a woman's dress.
All right. Pardon my English.
No, you're right. It's one of those subtle things that. But anyway, yes.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, good. So, would you like to share some wins while you're getting energetic flow state? I suppose.
Nothing much has happened, so I wouldn't say there's anything. I wouldn't say there's anything. Well, I've had the weekend, so I've just been doing housework and stuff like that.
Okay. I guess any wins, observations, or things that you like? Just quick ones you like to share.
I finished one of the 4 books I'm reading. So that was
okay. All right. Okay.
Science of storytelling. That was really interesting.
Okay.
I didn't quite like the author, but the basic premise for a lot of stuff was really interesting. Talking about the psychology behind telling stories and why it's important for the reader to, what makes a boring story and what makes an interesting story.
Okay.
If you're looking at if you have questions about the psychological journey that the protagonist is on, then you're more engaged with the storyline than if you're just seeing a set of circumstances happening to somebody. It's about the why that makes it compelling for the reader, not the what. Which is probably what he could have said at the beginning of the book, and then he wouldn't have written a book. He would have written a paragraph. But the reason why I read that is because obviously I've got a story now that I'm writing, so I wanted to learn some of the technique behind doing it, but it also impacts on actually our own way of looking at. I mean, the guy's quite irreligious, so I can call him an atheist, I guess. Only because he didn't say that, but it's just the way he phrased certain things. So I found it, it annoyed me because some of the turn of phrase it uses, but it was still an interesting book to read, nevertheless.
Okay.
That's that, really. Yep.
All right. Great. All right. So so maybe thanks for sharing that. I think one of the things is that story really. I think there's a book called the Story Brand. I don't know if you've heard of that. That's a book that I think been mentioned a few times. I think in my pod and elsewhere. I haven't had a chance to look, but I think relates to what you're saying, and it's really about how do you sell or market by storytelling. I think that's the premise of the book. Yeah. So story brand. That's probably something. Actually, I think I want to go over a quick summary for that later. Okay. So that's also maybe sharing I guess a habit which I have developed recently, which is to just look up quickly of a book that's been mentioned if I find that interesting. Obviously, I might not have the bandwidth to finish the book, but like a quick book summary with 10, 15 minutes to listen over. That's something I can do, and probably can get a 80%, of the rough idea of what the book is about. So that's a a habit I think adopting. And okay, and I guess you had something to say?
Yeah, I think Stephen Kotler in his book Art of Impossible makes a very good case for why that doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
In there, it's just got some very simple maths, and I think for me, I even think that the difference between an audio book and this is only works in fiction, sorry, fact, really. I think a difference between, I don't think the audio books, I'm not sure because I've never really listened to a lot of them. I don't think they are 100% word for word audio versions of the written material. I think they're somewhat condensed. I think if you start condensing, you start losing detail. And a book's got detail for a reason. And so, yeah, I mean, yeah, you might get a summary of it, but the actual purpose of the book is to educate and give us a better understanding of a subject. So it's going to take 4 hours to read it. It's going to take 4 hours to read it. You know, you can't condense that 4 hours worth of knowledge into 15 minutes. So you're never going to get 80% out of a book by, you might get I gave you a summary of the book I've just finished reading, but that's nothing compared to the detail that's sitting in there. If you thought you knew what that book, just because of what I said, well then you don't. This is impossible. So I don't hold that. I think if you're going to read a book, you read a book. And I think there's a value in doing so. Because we gain more through the actual
I fully agree. I fully agree. I'm not saying we shouldn't read books. I actually this is another win I like to share. I just finished 2 books fully. Obviously, this audio version. One is The Secret. The other is The Greatest Secret. Okay, so I don't know if you've had a chance to.
I've heard of them. I've heard of them.
Right. And it's really, I think it's got some really good and deep I think insights into the book started the whole law of attraction thing that I think I read it many years ago, but this time I think revisiting that actually brought better insights, especially with learning with Ben Hardy and Sullivan. I think that gives a whole new perspective. And also, give a lot more, I think, scientific validity to the secret, those things. So I guess one thing that really, I'm seeing this common theme as well, is that, oh yeah, and actually I just started another one, which is it's called the Science of Getting Rich. Okay, it's actually a 100+ old book. I don't know, that kind of proceed.
The what? Sorry,
it's called The Science of Getting Rich. It's over 100 years old. Yeah, and yeah, it actually precedes Napoleon Hill's book, I think.
Yeah, must do.
Right, and it's very interesting because so I think they all share a common thread, which is the idea that all things that came into existence that we see, touch, we call the physical world, the reality, the concrete stuff, or wealth, right, for that matter, they actually all came from thought. Okay, it all started with an idea, with a thought. So it's really the thought with certain, process that came into reality. And if you understand that, and also there's also the principle of you want to be able to offer more value, create more value to whoever you offer service or your client than what they're paying for. If you can keep this, 2 things in mind, that our wealth started from thought. It really starts from your mind, and also, it's really about creating value for people, and not to compete. Not to grab what's on other people's plate, and put it into your pocket. that's not the way. That's according to the author, some rich people might have gotten their money that way, but it's not going to last. Okay, it's not money that's going to last. Usually the more lasting wealth is when you are actually giving people more value than what they pay for, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, keeping these principles in mind, then you can start to see that there's really an abundance and unlimited amount of wealth that's yet to be created, because it's really about a creation process. It's not about, and also it goes about, obviously how this is our natural law. This is what God really loved to see us, being wealthy and happy and abundant. And also not just in one dimension, like spirituality or material, but body, mind, and soul. There should be a balance and emphasis on all three. So I mean, those kind of ideas. So anyway,
I'm
I
just
guess
putting
that's
you in the pocket.
oh,
Sorry,
okay, no worries.
I've got to unlock the door.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So
But that's,
I guess
what you've just described there is cash flow confidence.
yes, it is. Yes.
And
So
I wouldn't say that means that cash flow confidence. I get what you're saying. It's 100 years old, but I think a lot of these things like richest man in Babylon.
right.
And I think the idea is that everything starts with an idea. Well, of course it does. That's true. But I think the real key is when you're creating wealth, is the idea actually creating value for other people? And
right.
are you able to, if you are creating value for other people, are you able to turn that idea into something that does actually do that and you can manifest that idea? Because if you can't, then it's just an idea.
Right, sure, right. So it's about the idea plus the process, the application, the effort,
Yeah.
turning that into something concrete. Yeah, but basically, that is something you can apply skills, efforts, dedication, things like that into the work. So yeah, so I guess that's one win. The other is that okay, so I got a new virtual assistant over Upwork. Okay, and to be my personal assistant. But Upwork actually suspended my account for a reason unknown to me. They cited breach of user terms. Yeah, breach of user contract or user terms. But they did not specify like what did I do to warrant that. Tried to communicate a few times, didn't get it. So just decided to find virtual assistants elsewhere. And I came to this site called Virtual Work. That's PH Philippines. So it's a Filipino site, okay? Because originally I was referred to getting Philippine-based VA at $5 per hour. And I posted my description for the assistant. And just over the weekend, okay, over 100 applications flooded in. And this is just, I'm very impressed. I had the experience of posting some work at freelancer.com, and probably getting, I don't know, 40, 50 applicants. And also I had the experience of trying to hiring, interns at Intern Shoutout. That's an Indian student site. And also came in about 67, but never like this, never like over 100, within such a short time. Now, I likely may not hire one after all because that virtual assistant, actually we got connected over LinkedIn as well, and she's suggesting me to maybe contract her over another platform, Fire. However, this really gave me the idea and the insight that, if you just post a small job request and over 100 people are willing to work. Okay, is that you?
Recording in progress.
Hold on. Sorry. I didn't kill the meeting quick enough.
Okay, yeah, no worries. So should I continue?
Please,
Or
yes. I'm just
okay, yeah,
sorting
yeah,
out the
okay,
audio.
okay, sure. So I was saying that that really, I think, was an insight that if there are all these people who are willing to work, over hundreds of them, and I mean, granted, it may not be too technical. It may be, something simple to act upon, right? However, or it could be somewhat labor intensive. But think about this. This is exactly, how Henry Ford created the assembly line idea, right? That's when back in the days, and it just kind of I'm kind of inspired now of what this actually means. Okay,
Okay.
that it's really a matter of how you organize people, right, over internet remotely. If you can
Yeah, yeah.
actually organize them to do something productive, that's valuable in potentially a bigger, richer market, then there's tremendous potential. So those are something I might try to apply that to the AI book creation process, because I do see that there's labor work that could be standardized and applicable. So that's it. Last but maybe not least, JCF has interposition as of just now, prior to this meeting.
Oh, cool.
All the cryptos are shooting up. Um, you know, we don't know how long this will last, but whenever I'm in position, yeah. So that's, I guess, my update.
Awesome. That's good.
Yeah. Okay. And had a great hike with my son yesterday. Okay.
Very good.
Yeah. Also, Aris. Yeah. I mean, and his classmates. Yeah, a bunch of people. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. So I guess any quick feedback, or shall we jump into today's topic?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where you're going with the Filipino stuff. Just from the point of view of, if it's just for the book, then that's one thing. But I'm not sure how you would. I mean, the point about Henry Ford is that he had a system. He knew what needed to be done, and he broke it down. And
Twelve steps. Yeah.
even in these big restaurants, they call them brigades, but essentially it's a factory line. Each person doing one dish was in. So yeah, I think
We definitely can
if
think
you're
about how that's applicable to in our context, right? I mean, if there's something that requires some human cognition, and I suspect there's probably a room for that, because I think if we can smartly integrate human intelligence with AI intelligence, like AI doing most of the base level work, information processing stuff, whereas human does have some judgment, right, or additional cognition to that. I think you might be able to create something really unique. Maybe in terms of, yeah, I don't know. All right. So this, by the way, I think this prompted me out into thinking and wanting more of the three-person unicorn idea, Peter Diamandis talk about. Okay. Because I'm not really inclined to think about how to really make JCF maybe, a really small company that I can create a lot of value. So, yeah.
You're not inclined to do what? Make it a small company with a lot of value?
No. I am inclined now to try to see how JCF might become a three-person unicorn. I mean, just a metaphor, but meaning really a small, small in size in terms of the core people, but leveraging, AI, leveraging the global outsourcing community platform and this ecosystem, and be able to create a lot of value, right? With a very small core force. That's something I've been, thinking about. Okay. So, all right. And kind of forced upon by the circumstance, because we don't really have a lot of cash, capital of that. What we do have though are ideas and ways to connect ideas, right? And to experiment with certain new approaches to things. So, all right. So I guess any topic you'd like to discuss for today?
Well, I mean, we've got a ton of stuff that's outstanding.
Okay, all right. So
You pick your
how would
choice.
you
Where do
like
you want to go?
Okay. So I guess the first, I think that will get some concrete movement is the booklet. Okay, because I think I have rearranged the book. Maybe we want to finalize or get that out of the door so that it's 80% done and publish. I think that's the key. And the other is the queue for Go. Okay, so maybe just confirm with you if going 1000 MAU is still something you also feel committed to do. And if so, we can discuss maybe the approach, the how, right, or the who. One good news, I think, for you is I talked with Josh about open sourcing versus putting the front end, integrating front end and back end, and he voted for the integration first, okay, before any kind of open source. He feel that that probably will make more sense as you want to open something that's more complete. So I have asked him to do a evaluation, a technical one, in terms of time and budget of how much effort it's going to take to put the current wealth backend to the current main front end. Okay, so just make sure that he has that skin, but with the new additional, the new capability and functions. So that's a discussion we will have in about 40 minutes. Okay, just to let you know. Yeah, so yeah, so those are the couple of things right now I think we can discuss today.
Well, okay, so.
Oh, and one more thing. One more thing is, I have the idea that maybe we should do accountability stuff on Thursday, and just mostly on the JCF and moving forward on Monday. This is a suggestion. Okay, so just sharing quick wins, but let's do mainly the JCF stuff for Monday.
I'd always, this whole thing about quick wins and stuff. We've got so little time. I don't see the point in doing it every time we meet.
Okay, all right.
So but I have said that I've said that every time. I don't see. Okay. I don't see the point. If you're going to spend time doing it on a Thursday, for instance, then there's no point in doing it on a Monday. If you're going to do it on a Monday, what's the point in doing it on a Thursday?
Okay,
it's not like we don't know each other. If we didn't know each other and we were getting to understand each other, then I think there would be a logic there, because it's a way of building up a knowledge of the individual and the personality. So, but we're trying to achieve something else. We're not getting there.
But I vote for one small win still, like one thing. Okay, I should limit that from now on. Okay.
One small win. Okay, we're at 25 past 9.
Right. Okay. So
we spent we spent a good 20 minutes, 23 minutes maybe on talking about wins.
Right. Sure. Okay. So, all right. So go ahead. Yeah. So
booklet or lead magnet, I think is
right. Lead magnet. Right.
What is your proposal? I know you've restructured the contents, right?
Right.
I haven't. Yeah. Where did you put that? You said you put that in Slack.
No, it's the original, I think, Google document. It's just
cool.
I updated you on Slack about I have done the revision. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fine. I misunderstood then. I misunderstood. Right. Okay. Well, assuming that that's okay. There is this whole kind of does your restructuring of the content require any rewriting of the the content, the copy?
Not that I know of. You know, it's
Okay.
really about putting in a different order that I thought might make more sense in you know, in terms of a reader journey kind of perspective.
Okay, that's
Right.
cool. Do we need, now that we've kind of both familiar with the idea of storytelling, etc.,
Right.
do we need to consider crafting the story a bit better,
Mhm.
or does the flow, or does the reordering of the chapters, is that good enough?
Okay, so I think the story will come in the first part where we talk about the origin story. Okay, so but probably that's it. Obviously, it will be even better if story is interleaved into like each chapter, you know, or there's a personal touch to it. But you know, I don't think that's required for 80% done. You know, just in
Okay,
the beginning, we share our origin story, which actually we already did. I think we already have to a degree. It's just whether we want to improve.
yeah.
So,
Okay, so all right. So if you're saying then that the content and the copy are good enough, right?
right,
Then it comes down to how do you envisage the end kind of
right,
format of the lead magnet to look like?
right, 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 right,
Because I don't think a simple cover um, with plain text to be significant or sufficient. That to me, if I got that, I would think, oh, it's a bit, it wouldn't impress me. And
plain
if,
text, as in, you know, text only without diagram. Is that what you're saying? Or okay, like
that's
that?
plain text. That's plain
Okay,
text.
okay, right, right, right.
Now, if I'm reading something, I mean, look at, okay, so, all right, so that's one example.
Right,
That's another example, isn't it?
right, right, right. True.
And I'm just randomly opening here. Okay, it's plain text,
Right,
but, you know, he's
right.
got some pictures in there, isn't he?
Graphics, right. There's pictures. True.
So the point is the graphics break it up visually.
Right.
And I think it's, I think there's an argument to be had. I mean, this is a book that you want to read, right?
Right. Right.
Even Traction and Free has some diagrams, but they're kind of academic books. So, do we want to give away a manual? Is our desire to give away a manual that is academic by nature, or are we giving something which is going to entice people?
I have that's a good question. I have two thoughts on this. One is we can generate graphics with, again, utilizing AI and maybe some human assistant work. This is something I'm already experimenting, you know, for the elder book the Chinese elder book I mentioned to you last week. So I'll probably be doing something along that direction and see how it goes. Okay, I already experimented with some AI generated comic strips. Looks fairly all right. Just, you know, the dialogue has to be designed a bit. The other thing is, I think, just release and try to go for the building up the funnel first. Okay, because the funnel marketing, because I'm also doing funnel for my online course. So I do feel that there's value in terms of just get a funnel done first, and then start to, you know, keep track of the numbers in terms of how many people are seeing whether your ads or your article, you know, goes to your lead magnet, opt-in, right? So there are different stages, right? In terms of leaving their emails, getting the book, and then maybe take some actions after reading the book. So these are all different stages that we can have numbers and record them and see how they are leading into conversion, right? Ultimately, we want them to enter to the fund and become a participant, right? So I think that's the whole funnel journey, which currently I'm inclined to see that happen first, and then discuss about where's the bottleneck, how can we improve, sort of remove the bottleneck. That to me is also my understanding of the funnel marketing, as a science. Right? Obviously, there's the art part, but I think that's the science part. So that's my feedback. Yeah. So meaning that
so the book the book is a lead magnet.
Right. Sure.
So how do you want it to look? You set up your funnel. Somebody clicks on it and they request a lead magnet. What do they get? What does it look like? Are we just putting it in plain text, or are we giving it with diagrams? I've still got the same question.
Right.
Are you saying, well, let's just get it up there, so let's just do it plain text? Boom.
Right. I guess that's what I'm inclined to do. Okay, if you ask me, like what I would prefer, that's what I would prefer, to just launch it now, launch early now and then adjust. And at the same time, also create the next version with graphics, but don't let the creating graphics part sort of become a block of launching the whole process.
I don't see that as being a thing. I mean, I don't see it as being a block at all, because I mean, you can do it. You can do I've done one for Sync. I've put a book together with graphics, and it takes a few hours. It's not a block.
Okay. All right. Okay. Then that's fine. That's great. And
it's you can do it. So you can lay it out so it's actually got a book format in the same way that But that's fine. So all right. So where are we at with if that's the case, then what do we have in terms of the web page for the funnel?
The web page for the funnel, that's something that could require a bit work. I think what we have now is really what's called a landing. What we want to create is a landing page, literally describing the value you will get, right? Just enter your email, you'll get a free book.
So do we have that?
We don't have that yet.
Okay. So who's going to do that?
Okay. So I can probably enlist someone's help to create a page. Okay. That's likely we want okay. Thinking about going pro, I think we probably want to get we can do it ourselves, basically. Okay, using the ClickFunnels platform. Supposedly it should be easy to use, but requires some learning as well, right? And the other alternative is to get someone to help us to do that. There are a couple of.
But Chunyun, you're telling me you've done it. You've done it with your training course, right? So who did that landing page?
Well, so I do have a funnel partner now, who's his name is Robin. Okay, so actually I asked Ken to do all the funnel page. I can show you a copy. Right, I can show you how that currently works. I mean, looks. He's also learning, as starting to learn. so I wouldn't call him an expert yet. He's in the process of becoming an expert and aspire to do so. There are probably there's another guy. This is just off people I know, okay? This guy is actually a kid, still in high school, really interested.
I'm just looking at myself in a moment.
Oh, okay. I am going to share this. I think this. Okay. So just let you see what's been created for the course. It's actually nothing fancy. It looks something like this. Let me share my screen. Okay, can you see the screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, just like that. Okay, it's called a 10-minute a day, 10 hours, give you 10 hours a week challenge. So it's just, very simple one page.
Is that
Probably would be better. Yeah, go ahead.
Is that on the ClickFunnels site?
Yes, it is. See the domain myclickfunnels.com. This is actually ClickFunnels 2.0. So it's the new generation that was just released a few months ago, actually, since I think May or June. This is like the new next version ClickFunnels. But probably there is better looking template than this, or we could use a bit more graphics. Could put myself or a video there. But see, there's just the email, right? Email box. And already this has a conversion rate. We are doing some Facebook advertisements, just $10 a time. And there are people who have seen that ad, gone to this page and leave an email. Okay, so that means the ratios are not yet great, but this is what I'm talking about, that at least we already have some stats, in terms of, yeah, we can see that it's a process, right, of different stages and with different conversion ratio. So, right, okay, all right. So you're also sharing something?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So that's just the first part of it.
Okay. So you're also using ClickFunnels?
Yeah.
So
obviously this is all their standard stuff, right?
Right.
But I've taken their standard
yeah.
template, which is this.
Right.
It had some picture of some goofy bloke where this computer is, right?
Right.
So this image here is from their catalog.
Right. Okay.
So, all I need to do that there will punch up to another to the lead magnet.
Right.
So I might have to change that to be a better call to action, because that's not a call to action. But that's kind of where I was going with it. And then I'll just turn that into income. So
right. Good.
I get that's what's important to that though is what are the call to actions and what are the salient points that we need to make.
Right. Exactly. What's your copy, right? What is your copy?
Yeah. So what was interesting, or what is interesting going through this process is what questions am I asking? Are they compelling enough?
Right.
Look, we help. We help the who through what? Okay. Okay. So we help the
result. I think that's
okay. I didn't put. Yeah, I didn't put the two there. I need to put a two there. So we help business owners and IT to protect against cyber threats through that.
Right.
So
exactly.
I put that there because I thought that was the right thing to do. And then it's about thinking what each of these components are going to say. Now I'm not going to have. I'm probably going to have. I'm just going to do this and leave this here and stop here.
Okay.
And I'm going to get rid of all of this. I don't think I need all of that.
Okay.
I'll probably do that. Maybe, I don't know. See.
Or maybe by the way, testimonial, something really important. This is something that we're collecting, and I have, I think I might have told you, gotten one of the top Chinese ClickFunnels marketeer as coach, sign up her program a couple of weeks ago. And one of the guys on her team. I mean, like his main feedback. His name is Zach. He just said that have you put is there results to your like your course, and what's the result? And have you collected any testimonials? And I said no. And he said, what? Like that's the single thing. I mean, it was obvious to them that like you have to, you want to like put testimonials from people
Yeah.
about the product service.
I think, yeah, absolutely. So we have those from our customers, so we'll just put them in.
Right.
That's not a problem. And I think, but again, I think that's I think there should be some people on JCF that should be willing to do that, I would imagine.
Okay. I think we can collect. Yeah, there are the few people. I think I can collect some testimonials from. Yes, I have some names. Yeah.
That would be good. And also maybe doing an NPS. I can't remember what it stands for.
It's the do you recommend, right? The from 1 to 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay.
That I did that with IncomeSec. Really easy in a Google Doc. I just spun that out. Took me half an hour.
All right. Okay.
Maybe an hour.
By the way, what was the insights you gained from that? I mean, collect any good feedback?
Yeah, I got one response which said, "Yeah, I got one number 9."
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who it is though. That's the only problem.
Oh, I see. But how many responses did you get?
One. I just got one.
I see.
I got. Okay. So I suppose 100% at the moment is number 9.
I see. Okay.
Obviously, isn't a true reflection, but it was an interesting response nevertheless.
Okay. All right. So we probably want to do that with JCS as well, right?
Yeah.
And the current level, right? At least to get an assessment of what.
You see, okay, so now we're into the nitty gritty of getting this sorted, right? So we're in October. So October, no, November, December, right? That's 2 months left in the year.
Exactly.
So realistically, we're now talking about how to get this done.
Right. Getting a funnel done. Right.
Yeah. So we're actually looking at actually putting the funnel up there, finishing off the layout of the book, considering NPS, getting recommendations. We need for the funnel. We need to start. So each one of those headings needs to be an exciting tagline. So we need to think about the copy, about what's going to go in there.
Right. All right.
So we sit there and say, I don't know whether it's going to be a social impact message or whether it's going to be a profit message, whether it's going to be a return on investment message. So those are the sorts of things that we need to kind of think about. What are we going to say? I think the we to through message unless somebody tells me this was the wrong thing to put, I think it's a good thing to put in there because it tells people what we're about. And so I don't see why if we're focused on this, why we can't have that operational by the end of November. I don't see why we can't do that, and I don't see why we can't do it ahead of time. However, if we then and then we can sit there and go, right, well, let's where are our people hanging out? Facebook, LinkedIn. So so then it's just a matter of doing some Facebook advertising and some LinkedIn advertising.
Right.
And then that, if we do that during December, then potentially we'll see something turn around at for the beginning of the year, and that'll be an interesting start to the year.
Okay.
But again, it's about.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was going to carry on talking. You say something. That's what.
Oh, so go ahead. Sorry. I mean, please finish.
No, it's just waffle. I was just talking.
Okay. All right. So my suggestions would be get everything up and running by the end of this month. Okay. At least the first version, right? And potentially just start to do advertisements just to gauge interest and see how,
Yeah.
how things are looking, right? And then adjust from there. Because
7 days, shouldn't it?
yeah, 7 days, yeah, should be enough to launch anything, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it depends on how much time you put into it.
Yeah, or or
I
whether we
mean,
can enlist powerful who's, right? So
okay,
yeah.
where are you going to pay for the powerful who?
Well, it's discussable. So for example, my current funnel partner, we are doing revenue split. Okay, so essentially there's no upfront payment. It's revenue model. The Yeah, I guess I am inclined to find someone, who can work with that kind of I guess that model. Okay. Otherwise, I'm thinking about hiring someone, let's say on Fire or some of the outsourcing platform who has experience with ClickFunnels 2.0, and just do it for us. With maybe we give some copy, in terms of the copy, in terms of the words, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well, okay, so the only thing that you need experience with,
right,
I think, is the phrasing of your statements and knowing
right,
and having a gut understanding as to whether or not the statements
right,
are hooky enough, right?
right, and speaks to the audience, right? Speaks to the clients.
So it's the thing that, and I think, yeah, if all I was doing every day was ClickFunnels and I was doing them for different people, then I would start to get a better understanding as to what is a good hook.
Right, sure.
But again, a good hook is dependent upon the audience, is dependent upon the product, is dependent upon the value, is dependent on, there's a bunch of different things that you have to take into account.
Right.
So if you and I are JCF,
right,
if you then say to an external person, Robin,
right,
do us a ClickFunnels for this. Robin's gonna, I would suspect Robin will sit there and say, okay, well, I can format the whole thing. Give me 3 headlines and 4 hooks and copy for 3 call to actions or something like that, right?
Right. Some input, right? Some input and
right. So you and I are going to do the work anyway.
Right. Okay. All right.
And what's Robin bringing to the table? Robin is laying it out on a template which has already been designed for him.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
Now, the difference being that if you want somebody who's professional, then they're going to still ask you, give me the 3 hooks, give me the 3 copies and 3 call to actions.
Sure.
And then they're going to say, yeah, that ain't going to work.
Right. Provide feedback, right? Okay.
Because they're going to sit there and go, it ain't hooky enough. It doesn't do anything, right? And that's where their skill lies. Assuming that their skill assuming that their gut is telling us the right thing.
Right.
Now,
and they have understanding.
I don't think, yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm of the opinion nobody can do that for income sec better than me right now. And until I've understood the process, how can I give that and delegate that to somebody else? Because I don't know what I'm delegating to them.
Okay.
So, for instance, when Olga was taking on the jobs of doing the bookkeeping and doing the admin in terms of paying suppliers and paying and sending receipts out to customers and all that kind of stuff, I could tell her exactly what to do in exactly the right place because I knew exactly what it, and I just boom, took all of that out of my head, gave it to her. I don't think about it. I mean, I touch it once in a while, but I don't actually have to think about it. That's a freedom of time. That's a delegation, and that's what it is. But I know what the process is to start.
Right, sure. And you can take it
because
back if necessary, right?
Yeah. If Olga was a hire, then I could take. but it was all there. Now,
Right.
so what I'm trying to illustrate is that I think that the kind of the who, not how, is about when you know what you want, when you know how something is working. It's not about you doing it. You give it to a who, but you have to know what it is. That whole using Henry Ford as the the example of the process line, it was obvious what needed to be done. I mean, there are some stories where Henry,
very clear. The result,
there are
the
some,
output.
there are examples where he said, I wanted a 6-cylinder engine and I want it from a single cast, and there was this whole thing about, well, we can't do that, and he went, just make it happen. I think those sorts of arguments came at a point in time when he had already been established and was already, had something, so he could pay engineers a year's worth of salary to make the dream come true. But in the initial instant, I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying to think now, Shunyan. Is the coffee speaking? Is that all? Am I just waffling here?
Okay.
And do I need to get to the point?
I think you're trying to say that we have to be able to do it ourselves first before be able to find someone to delegate. And I think you're also making the point that you think we are probably the best people to do this. In this case, we are the who, as opposed to someone external. At this stage or at this point, I think that's what you're trying to say.
Thank you for surmising what I wanted to say. I'm sorry I'm so waffly, but unfortunately, it's part of my character.
No,
I'm glad you can translate it.
We all have our intention, right? And it's important that we want that delivered to the other people's mind. That's that's all. The art of communication.
I'll be honest with you, Shunya, and it doesn't help that for the last few weeks now, I've been intermittent fasting on a Monday, Tuesday, and a Thursday.
Oh, so okay. Oh,
okay. I haven't had any breakfast yet,
and
I won't eat anything until lunchtime, so 12 o'clock.
Okay.
So the only thing I can do is I can drink water, I can drink black coffee, and I can drink black tea. Right?
Okay.
Which is
nice.
Fine, and it's actually, I suppose this is a win, really, but because it helps with digestion. It's meant to help with longevity. It certainly helps with fat burning. I also do yoga every morning now. So last couple of weeks, I've done yoga every morning.
Oh, nice.
There was 1 week now that I left it for a full week because I had because I've got a damaged knee, and I was driving around the country quite a lot, so I didn't do it for that week. But it's interesting because that's so. Those two things mean that when I start my day, I'm already kind of like, quite energized. But it does mean that I'm not, because I'm hungry, I'm not kind of. I think my thought process is a little bit too varied.
Okay.
But anyway,
all right.
So just an apology.
Quick question. I am inclined to get someone to do the ClickFunnels stuff on our behalf. Because right now, I think for me, I don't yet want to touch on, I guess, on the execution part of ClickFunnels. Like Russell himself, actually, he knows the funnel process well, but he actually doesn't do copywriting himself. He hires copywriters.
Yeah, because he's got to a position where he can do that.
Right. True. But I guess what I'm saying is, and he probably started doing that somewhat himself as well early.
He spent look at his book in the first few pages of his book. It shows him when he was a teenager with tons and tons of mass mail marketing, traditional letter marketing, and he understood the whole process, and he started
Right. He understood the process. So there's this kid who is still in high school, but he's already doing copywriting, as job, I think. and he's actually interested. He's actually in the. I met him while in Canada. Staying in his parents' house. Actually, that's how I met him. And he's aspired to become a good copywriter and maybe a funnel marketer. He's actually in the Ascender WhatsApp group. Okay, Aaron, that's his name, Aaron. So originally I was going to talk with him this morning, but we have rescheduled to next Monday. But it might make sense to enlist his help on this matter.
Well, what are you going to pay him with then?
That's, I guess, what I want to ask you. Pay by cash or pay by tokens? Cash
Okay, but
tokens.
where are we going to the tokens, right? You see,
Right.
the thing is with your course, right?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody joins your course and they pay you $500,
that's money. Yeah.
You've got that. You know that's there.
Right.
Because
right.
one person equals 500.
Right.
We don't know yet what one
Mm-hmm.
person means.
Mm-hmm.
One person is $1,000, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But what does that mean in terms of profit to us?
Sure. So
you could argue, well, it's 30%.
True. So I guess, okay, so I think what we can say or do now is we do have what's called a team tokens, right? So like a portion of team tokens, whatever that might come up to be. I think that's one way. A simpler way is just pay cash, right? Then maybe hourly rate, or let's say a per project basis. So I guess what's your thinking here? Or you're more inclined for us to do it ourselves, at least for the first iteration?
I think so, because I think that's a better form of learning.
Okay, all right.
Once we've understood it, then we can farm it out to people.
I see. Are you willing to do the funnel, I guess the ClickFunnels thing yourself? Do you think you're the one? I can offer the copy. I mean, I can contribute on the copy.
Yeah, part. I don't mind spending some hours at it, but I'm not gonna bust my balls to get it done in 7 days. I'll get it done within. I'll work towards a 7-day timeline, but I won't necessarily guarantee it.
Okay.
And the thing is, I mean, I'll tell you what. I am harboring a little bit of resentment. What pissed me off was you showing me your elders book, going, look what I've done.
Right.
How long have we been talking about an ebook? How long has it been sat there waiting? And it took you like a couple of weekends to knock out a physical copy. And that was great for you. Well done. I mean, no, and I'm not being sarcastic. I mean it as in you've actually achieved something in a very short period of time, which is really good.
Right.
But I sat there and I thought, why is he not that motivated to at least do the same thing with our lead magnet?
Because there was a launch deadline that I promised and to a mentor. So that's the difference.
Right. Why? Because you and I are supposed to be, but you and I promised in June that we would hit a target.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Set a deadline.
But no, but Shenyun, that has not happened. We set a deadline.
Well, okay. I mean,
we did that already.
We can do that for the book. I mean, the deadline for 1,000 was, I guess, too complex, and there are many aspects, right? I was committed on the launching of the server, on the system part, which it did. Wealth was launched. Okay, Wealth was launched.
Yeah.
So
I think that's it. That is okay.
I'm trying to explain. I was committed to certain things, which was I guess from my perspective, in alignment with the 1,000 users, right? I was trying to do my part, right? Although that turnout wasn't good enough or wasn't adequate enough, for, I guess, a market launch.
I think there's just the difference between the perception of what is
Fungible,
you know,
right?
what is operational? Look, again,
Right.
sales and operations. There's sales, operations, and finance, right? Those are the three cores,
Mhm.
right? So
Right,
sales
right,
and
right.
marketing, one and the same.
Mhm.
Operations and
Right.
delivery, one and the same. Okay.
Mhm.
So I think that what and then I think that
Oh,
right.
okay. I think Josh is joining. Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
okay, look, I'll
we
finish
can
off. Look,
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
has he joined or are you keeping him in a
Yes,
wait room?
Josh is connecting.
Okay, fine.
Um,
I would suggest that we pick this up on Thursday
oh, okay.
because I think it's important because
Uh-huh.
it's a clarity of how we've been thinking. And I think
Right.
that's really vital because, you know, that clarity of thought
Mhm.
is, you know, I'll say one thing, you'll say another. We'll both assume that the other person has understood it in exactly the
Mhm.
way it's delivered, right? So
Right.
when you
Oh,
respond with, oh, I think you're summarizing this and this is what you're trying to say, I suddenly know, oh yeah, he's actually got it, right?
mhm.
And I
Okay.
think that there's been a couple of things where that we haven't had as much alignment as we do normally. So
Right.
I think that's
Sure.
important to be clear on that so that we learn how to do that better next time. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay.
Cool. So
So quick
I would pick that
question.
up.
Should
I'll
we
get on with the
commit?
ClickFunnels stuff.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay. So on Thursday on the copywriting text, or maybe I'll have some draft ready by Thursday. Would that work?
Yeah, if you do that, and
Okay.
then what I'll do is, can I log on to your to the
Yes, yes.
Ideal
So
9? Are we good?
Poet is here. Okay, so I'll ask Poet, okay, to provide you with access to our ClickFunnels. Okay,
No, she's
so
done that. I've already logged on to your
you
Ideal
already got
9.
it. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
all right.
Poet's done that.
Okay, all right, good.
I've already logged on. It's just I've gone on and logged into. I've created my own account for income tax.
Okay, okay, all right, sure.
So what I want to do is are we able to just spin up another test? I suppose we
Yes.
can spin up another.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
okay, fine.
yeah. Actually, under my account, I think we can create 3 workspaces, you know, like 3
Right.
separate workspaces. That's
Okay,
so,
fine.
yeah.
All right. So if we
Maybe
do that,
some, yeah, maybe some digging, but maybe we have a separate workspace for JCF. Okay. All right.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. I'll let
All
you
right.
guys get on.
So, all right.
Cheers,
So
Shannon.
great. Thanks,
Good to
Mike.
talk.
All right. Take care. Take care.
Yeah,
All
bye.
right. Bye bye. 好，那